friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Claire Renee, and today it's pretty self-explanatory in the title. It's a sequence made to just refresh and give us a good reset of the body. So I highly suggest grabbing some blocks, 2 blocks, and a blanket or some type of towel or cushion for underneath the knee should any of the poses just start to irritate or wear at the knee a little bit. You just have a little bit of cushion between you and the floor. Grab your water, grab your props, hop on the mat, and I'll see you there. Welcome to the mat, friends. Starting on a block, sitting up nice and tall, we inhale, let the shoulders reach up towards the ears, and exhale, let the shoulders drop. Give yourself a few rounds of that, just starting to loosen up the tension in the neck and shoulders here. When you feel ready, you can maybe soften your gaze or close your eyes. Take a deep breath and start to just surrender to this space and time that you've given to yourself today. You've showed up here so that you can get a bit of a refresh, a reset. So you owe yourself this time. You owe yourself to be present in the moment in every sensation, thought, feeling that you have from the beginning of this sequence to the end. In touch with your natural inhale and exhale. Feeling the cool air leave the nostrils with your exhale. And slowly open up your eyes if they were closed. And we're gonna move our block to the side and make our way into all fours. And just to get the spine moving a bit, we're just going to take a few rounds of cat-cow here. So big inhale looking towards the ceiling. As you round the spine, you're going to take your exhale pushing away from your mat. You can even add some undulation in the hips or in the neck if you would like to just add just a little bit of extra to your cat-cow today. It can oftentimes feel nice. Alright friends, so to get started today, we are going to first find a nice simple dragon pose. So back on all fours, blocks in front of you, and you're gonna bring the foot in between the hands or in between the blocks. Back knee, of course, is on the mat. You want to think of letting that left hip flexor gradually and naturally just want to fall towards your mat. Now go ahead and take that right arm towards the inside of the right leg. And I'm using the block on that side just to rest as I come into dragon flying low. If this feels far too intense for you, you can raise the level of the block, or you can stay in just your hands framing the feet in a regular basic dragon pose. That's more than okay too. Dragon flying low today is really focused on that left hip flexor, and of course we're getting a deeper stretch in that right hamstring. Do your best here to focus on your breath and notice areas that you tighten up, and try and release that tension with every exhale, whether it's your hands, whether it's your jaw, whether it's your forehead. Maybe it's your toes, maybe it's your feet. Start to notice what kind of grips up as you try and hold a pose, and try to release that tension. Easier said than done, and that's why yin can be a challenge. Awesome, friends. Let's come back up into our dragon pose and go ahead and let's set up the other side. Give yourself a moment in between sides just to set up. If you need a moment to just shake the hips out before you set up that left foot, by all means, please do. And I'm going to be quiet here. Now that you know what to do, find your dragon flying low when you're ready. If you don't need the block, you can bring the elbows to the mat. As long as you can hold the pose. Start to gently make your way out of the pose on the left side. Bring your blocks to the side of your mat. Come back to all fours. And we're going to start by reaching high up with that right arm, looking towards the sky. Exhale. Let's go ahead and thread the needle, taking that arm behind the left arm. And then using that left arm just for stability, you stretch it out in front of you. You see my hand out in front of me. Now be careful with your hips here. Sometimes they want to shift in the direction that you've sent that arm, but you want to keep the hips center. They might want to shift over to the left. That's a normal thing that happens. I want you to do your best to try and keep them center so we can really get a nice twist and sensation in that upper back. Bring that left hand back in, release from the right side, and we're going to repeat the same thing, reaching up the left arm now, threading the needle, resting the side of the head on the mat, and reaching out that arm in front of you. Beautiful friends, release the left side of that thread the needle. Go ahead and grab your towel or blanket or whatever kind of extra cushion you might have so that we can set up our frog pose. We are going to get the knees nice and wide apart and then create a 90-degree angle at the knee. So your legs will be right behind you with the feet flexed, and you will quite literally look like a frog. Like if you've ever seen the back legs of a frog, that's pretty much the position we're making. Coming onto your elbows. If that's too much, you can prop yourself up even higher by placing a block underneath your elbows. If you feel like you want to go a little further down, you're more than welcome to rest your forehead on your hands. The key here is to breathe. This is a very intense stretch. Feeling it in the inner thigh and the groin. It can be a neglected area for sure. And just a little reminder as you're holding this pose that you want to do your best to not shift forward, but you actually want to shift the bum towards the back of the room. Please do this at your own pace. Don't feel like you just need to whack the hips all the way to the back. The farther you send your hips back in this position, the more intense the sensation. Perfect, friends. Come out of the stretch very slowly. Walk your hands towards the center of the body. Take your time releasing the legs in the pose. Shake it out if you need a moment. I know that one was a doozy. So just give yourself that time in between poses. There's no rush here. We're gonna find seated pigeon now, taking that right foot on top of the left knee. And then give yourself your 30 seconds of moving around and finding where you need to be. Maybe the hands need to be further away from the body, or maybe you need to bring them closer for a deeper stretch. Once you've found your sweet spot, continue to breathe, find your stillness, and hold the pose. Lovely, friends. Straighten out that left leg. Release the right. Shake it out. And then you're going to set yourself up for the same exact thing on the other side. And remember to find the pose. Once you found it, find your stillness. I find stillness is one of the hardest parts of yin for so many of us. So do your very best to try not to fidget too much. Release that right leg out front and shake out the legs. Release that pose. We're going to find ourselves coming to our backs here, setting ourselves up for banana pose, getting that side body. So you're shimmying the upper body over to the right and then shuffling those feet in the same direction. And maybe you want to keep your feet, both feet on the mat here, or maybe you want to cross that left foot over the right. You can choose to do whatever works for you, as long as you're feeling the sensation in the side body on that left side. Some people might even feel it in your hip flexor here. That is totally normal as well, even if you don't really feel it on the side of your torso. Awesome, friends. Let's shimmy our way out of the pose, first with the upper body, then letting the feet come back center. And then you're gonna do the same thing to set up on the other side so that we can get the right side of our body. Start to come out of your banana pose on this side, friends, and we are going to roll over onto our right side, onto our forearm, stacking the legs. And then you're going to take that left foot in front of you with a flexed foot. You're going to take that left hand and grab the right foot, pulling it behind you as if you're going for a quad stretch. And you can hold cat pulling its tail just like that on your forearm, or like you see me doing, you can come on to a laid out position on your mat. You're also welcome to grab the toes or grab the calf of the front leg if you feel like you need a bit of a deeper stretch and you want more of a hamstring stretch in that left leg. So there's two things going on in this one pose. So I know it's going to take a moment if it's new to you. You've got hamstring going on in the front leg. You've got hip flexor, quad, as you're pulling that back foot. And that is what you would consider your cattail back there. Remember to breathe. There's a couple of sensations going on here. If you need a block to prop your head up a little bit higher, you're welcome to do that. And of course, you're welcome to stay on your forearm like we started. Alright friends, let's release that back leg. Switch sides. Coming onto that left side. Set yourself up on your forearm. Bringing the top leg in front of you. Reaching for the left foot behind you. And then figuring out where you need to go. Maybe you stay on the forearm, maybe you come to a laid position, or maybe you come to bringing your block to rest your head on so you can be a little bit higher up but not completely on the mat. Let's release that back leg. Come out of the pose slowly, take your time, come onto your back. Make sure you're in the center of your mat and you've got space. Taking up space, getting comfortable, letting the feet just fall outwards. Gently softening your gaze or closing your eyes. Feeling the rise and the fall of the chest as you breathe. The rise and fall of the belly with every inhale and every exhale. Notice if you're holding on to tension in your face, in your jaw, in the neck, in the shoulders. Maybe you don't even realize that you're engaging your biceps, or your hands are gripping the floor instead of just being placed and existing on the floor. With every exhale, tension leaves the body, and you should feel like you are melting into your mat. Belly is soft. Quads are turned off, hamstrings are turned off, glutes are turned off, calves are turned off. If you're scrunching your toes, release them. If you're flexing or pointing your feet specifically, try just letting them be and falling how they may. Today, I'm going to let you decide when you are ready to come out of Savasana, and I will leave you here today. Thank you for joining me. Be well, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you on the next video.